guys, Davinator right here, and today we got another movie review for you. Specifically a movie review for Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. And no, I don't own this on Blu-ray, it's just a DVD at the moment. But whatever, I should probably rebuy this on Blu-ray at some point fairly soon, because it actually is worth it, because well, I'll get to it later. But, anyway, so this, I personally think, gets way more hate than it should. Like, this is generally just looked on as either just a mediocre movie or just a straight up bad movie. Why? This is a really good movie. This is one of my favorite alien invasion movies, personally. But whatever, let's go ahead and get into the plot. Now, you've probably heard the plot of War of the Worlds. War of the Worlds is the most famous alien invasion book of all time. It's the most famous alien invasion story of all time, besides, like, Independence Day. But Independence Day is really just War of the Worlds, but, you know, all 90s-ified with Will Smith punching an alien in the face and Jeff Goldblum and stuff. But I actually like Independence Day. I'm actually not trying to trash talk Independence Day. I really like that movie. But anyway, but yeah, it's a very popular movie. You probably know the plot. But basically, all it is just aliens. They come down and attack, or technically they come up and attack. But I'll get that later. And yeah, and basically you just get a lot of you know, exciting action sequences. And basically the movie revolves around Tom Cruise's character and his daughter Dakota Fanning and his older son. Robbie, played by Justin Chatwin, who is in Dragon Ball Evolution. Luckily, he's not nearly as bad as he was in that movie, though. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. But moving on from Dragon Ball Evolution, we're not going to talk about that. We're talking about this movie, and I'm getting really off track. I really got to get into this review now. Okay, I'm on track now. But anyway, yeah, so basically it's just about them trying to survive, and you get a very dark and surprisingly bleak and actually pretty intense movie. This is a very suspenseful movie. Like, it's definitely a thrill ride. It's very intense, and Tom Cruise gives, I think, one of the best performances of his career. Up there with Collateral and Rain Man, or, well, okay, Rain Man was... Well, he was good in Rain Man. No, it's just that, you know, Dustin Hoffman was a lot better. But, okay, we're talking about other stuff that doesn't matter. Doesn't pertain to this review. We're talking about this movie. Okay? Quit getting off track. But, yeah. And he gives such a good performance. He comes off as so believable, so real. His character seems so believable, and he sucks you into the movie. And Dakota Fanning and, Justin Chatwin are both actually pretty good in the movie. I mean, Justin Chatwin, people, like, he's the main gripe people have with the movie. People say that he's a bit cheesy in certain scenes. I don't feel that way, honestly. I mean, I know certain scenes that people are talking about, but honestly, I've never really felt that way. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying not to spoil things, that's the thing. I gotta discuss stuff without spoiling it. But still, I liked his character. I thought Justin Chatwin did a good job. That his career went downhill from there, which is unfortunate, but I think he gave a good performance in this movie. Dakota Fanning was great in her role. She definitely screams a lot, but she plays a 10-year-old girl, so, you know, in the midst of an alien invasion, yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of screaming, so that's just kind of a given. And yeah, she's really good in the movie. But yeah, Tom Cruise's performance, that's what it's all about in this movie. He's so good. And like, some of these scenes that he's in, I mean, I gotta move on to other aspects, but certain scenes, it's just like, man, hits you right there. It's so emotional. He's so great, and he's funny, and it's just one of the best performances of his career, I think. But anyway, moving on. Okay, let's talk about just the story. The story, it's simple. Okay, it's a simple story, but it works so well because of how great the performances are, how great, really great the action sequences and just destruction sequences are, because this movie has some of the best CGI, I think, ever. ILM did such a terrific job. Like, this is up there with, like, Jurassic Park and some of the ILM's best CGI work. Like, seriously, whenever I see a tripod in this movie, because that's what the aliens use, that's the machines that they use to go around, these giant 150-foot tall, three-legged machines, tripods, just, like, it doesn't look fake. Like, I just see it, and I'm like, except for like one or two shots that are kind of close up, and even those shots don't exactly look fake. They still look cool, but most of the shots, I'm just like, how did they do that? How does it look that real? It just looks so real. It looks like something you can just reach up and touch. The CGI in this movie is off the charts. It's so good. It came out in 2005. Why can't they make CGI this good in 2015? The CGI effects that I've seen in the Jurassic World trailer, they look kind of bad, to be honest. I think they don't look very good. It looks like late 90s CGI, and not, and I'm not talking about, the Lost World CGI, late 90s CGI, because that was really good late 90s CGI. Why is that the CGI in Jurassic World just doesn't look that great? And this 2005 movie looks a lot better than that. But anyway, and the great special effects definitely add to the terror of these creatures. These aliens in the movie, they're scary. Like, this movie is legitimately creepy and disturbing at times. It's a very suspenseful movie. And it's very bleak. Like, you just watch the movie, you're like, oh. Like, it's a very suspenseful movie. And it was made, obviously, post 9/11. And this movie, I think because, it takes place just 4 years, it's set in 2005, because it was made in 2005. But yeah, it's, 4 years after 9/11, and it's very, accurate representation of how I think the alien invasion would have gone down, so soon after 9/11 happened. And it just shows, like, it's not just the aliens that are bad, it also shows, how bad people can be in these times, kind of like Walking Dead type stuff, only, like, a lot more, bat crack crazy, because, they have a $130 million budget with this movie. There's some stuff in this movie. I'm not just talking about the big explosions the aliens cause, like, there's some big, like, stuff, like, why would those people do that, that type of stuff. And yeah. Now, the main thing that people don't like about this movie, I'm not going to spoil it, but an hour into the movie slows its pace way down. Now, in my Titan AE review, I said that the movie, in the middle, it slowed way down, and it completely just brought the movie down several notches, and made the movie just kind of boring, and I didn't really care about what was going on. That's not the case in this movie. I have never been bored, even when I was like 6 years old watching this movie for the first time. You'd think that a 6-year-old of anyone would get bored when not much is happening. I'm always enthralled when I watch this movie. Even an hour through, when the movie just slows down a bit. I like that sequence. People think the sequence is slow, boring, a bit cheesy with a certain actor's performance. I'm not going to spoil who it is, but I've never felt that way. I've always just really liked that sequence. I thought, and some of the most intense scenes I have ever seen happen in the last good 40 to 50 minutes of this movie. Literally, like, one or two of the most intense, like, as you see, like, what's gonna happen scenes happens at the end of this movie. And, like, yeah, the climax, it's so cool, it's just so great. And, it's about as realistic as I think an alien invasion movie like this on such a big scale is going to be. And I just really like this movie. The acting is great. The action sequences and special effects are so good. Like, when stuff is happening, when stuff is blowing up, it just looks real. Like, I'm seeing that. It's like actually, like, freaking me out when I'm watching, like, buildings get crushed and people are just getting crushed and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I feel like it's actually happening. It's actually pretty suspenseful and intense. This is a very intense movie. And, yes, I will admit, like, in that last 40 minutes of the movie, to where it slows down, it is a little boring at a certain point. There are a couple times where it does feel a little cheesy, but hardly. They're just, like, throughout this movie, like, the only problems with it are just, like, certain cheesy line deliveries that happen, like, 3 or 4 times. It's just, they're really nitpicks. But they are nitpicks that I can say can bring the movie down a little bit. Overall, my final grade for this movie is going to be an A. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite alien invasion movies. But yeah, it's technically not perfect. But really, it's just the only problems are nitpicks. And yeah, I do think this is one of Steven Spielberg's better films. It is a great film, very intense, very suspenseful, and it's definitely worth watching, in my opinion. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, please rate and comment and subscribe. And if you want to, you can also share. And yeah, guys, I'm sorry this video is almost 10 minutes long. I gotta make these videos shorter. I'm gonna try my best to make the next video like 5 minutes long. Anyway, bye-bye.